You're listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, a few ideas for you on getting rid of toxic waste or simply justifying a large household purchase. Also, how to irresponsibly entertain your children with mummies, the dead kind. Well, I have a great idea. I think I need to go on Shark Tank with you.
Oh, is it scathingly brilliant?
I don't know, but you're the judge of this Shark Tank worthy material here.
That's true.
I have figured out, you know how they try to talk about how we need to get less stuff in the landfill?
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything that anybody wants to get rid of, we simply lend them this foster dog.
I love her. She's so cute.
She's very cute. She seems to have a little separation anxiety. So she tore through a rubberized plastic tray, and then there was a piece of an area rug underneath her crate. And so she got to that and she ripped it through the crate and she bent the bars of the crate. And I just think that from an environmental standpoint, if she can digest giant chunks of plastic tray, although mostly she seemed to have fun flinging them about, but rug, if she can afford, then can survive all that, then all we need to do is figure out in some non-lethal way whether she could survive, I don't know, toxic waste, and just put her with a bunch of that underneath her kennel, and we'd be in great
specialize
shape.
in dogs like that, if you remember.
You want her?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, no.
It's time to get new furniture in this house.
That's the business. If you've been hounding your partner for new furniture in your house and the partner keeps saying that the furniture is still usable, then what we do is we send Sparks to your house for the night, and in the morning there will be no argument at all.
Sparks would get along fine with Butters. If you remember, Butters chewed his way through every pair of Uggs, every piece of furniture. But now Butters is a good boy, so we need someone to torture Frankie.
Sparks is your girl. Also, they misgendered her at Animal Care and Control because
I saw that.
Very, very busy. That's twice now. First, they told us that we had a dog that had been neutered. And I'm looking at the dog going, no, those are balls for sure. Those are balls. And my husband's, you may recall, going, no, I think it's fine. I'm like, you should know what these look like. And now I see her cleaning herself after 2 baths. And the husband, by the way, who gave her these 2 baths, apparently didn't notice that there were no balls this time. And so I'm looking at her going, I don't know what she's licking because those aren't balls. And the poor souls at Animal Care and Control, either they're all just so detached from gender that even in animals they don't notice it, or they're just completely beset and they.
Well, they're busy.
They are.
They're busy, and if a guy has little balls, don't necessarily see them, and you could go out as a female, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, I had a friend in Michigan with a girl dog named Bruce, because they were convinced that it was a boy.
Yeah. I had a guinea pig named Samuel who ended up having babies when we babysat another guinea pig.
Yeah.
So,
but I think Spark is adorable. I love Sparks.
Sparks.
Get that K off.
Yeah,
well, my cat's name is Pancakes, and she's only one pancake, so I guess okay.
Well, okay. Anyway.
Or Land Shark. Land Shark's a good name as well.
That would be a good name for Sparks, Land Shark.
But yeah, no, I've had dogs eat chocolate. I've had dogs eat everything you can imagine. Nobody ever got sick. Jerry had to be on poop pills for a while after he ate Lamb Chop's nose off. But he didn't have to have it cut out.
Like a toy. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a piece that will be very exciting to you. We have to go out tonight and Sparks will be crated. So Sparks is going to get a massive amount of anti-anxiety medication before we leave. Yeah, I know. You would sleep in a kennel too if you could have this drug.
Probably. We had an Einstein who would rip apart the heaviest guaranteed wire that your dog will never get out of cages.
Yeah.
kennels, whatever.
I think whatever the supermax prison is, they need to first lock up the dog in there and see how that goes, and if that works for a night or two, then you can put the mass murderers of the world in there safely.
I think there's talk of Alcatraz. So
That's right. They're going to reopen. That's right. Oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought of that. Alcatraz, Sparks, I got a job for you. Okay, so
half will be murderers and half will be like a rave.
I've done the tour of Alcatraz. I remember when we did Camp Mommy one summer. Do you remember Camp Mommy?
No.
Well, I got tired of sending my kid to the religious day camp where there was a lot of cheering for the Messiah. That made me nervous. And then I called my mother and said, this is ridiculous, this cheering for the Messiah. And this was one of my mom's great moments. May she rest in peace. She said, maybe that's why the Messiah hasn't come. We're just not jumping up and down and cheering hard enough. And I thought, I don't remember reading anywhere that was necessary, but you got a point. So I'd had it with that. The kids were too little to have them go to overnight camp, and they'd endured some real harassment in the city parks of Oakland day camps, which I won't go into. Let's put it this way. They were a minority, a complete minority, and they were treated like other minorities have been treated historically in this country. So I wasn't going to send them there. So we formed what we called Camp Mommy with a couple of other moms, and each mom was in charge of an activity one day a week. And
you took your kids to Alcatraz.
I took everybody.
Like scared straight.
Took them. I know they were little. They thought it was fun. And then one day I took them to. They had a big vivarium full of snakes and caimans and lizards, and we took them all there. They had a grand time, and that's the one where I realized that there are only so many versions of your car key they can make.
Yeah.
And I opened up a minivan that tweeted at me when I hit the little key fob, and we got in, all of us, and I'm looking for the car seats. I'm not saying the kids say to me, Mom, this car's a lot cleaner than our car. And then that's when I realized it was not our car. Just was hopeful
I do that all the time.
Maybe it wasn't as filthy as I thought it was, but no.
Yeah. I'm always trying to unlock the wrong car with my fob.
You try to, do you?
Oh, all the time.
Oh.
I'm looking for lower mileage, I think. Yeah, no, I used to, when I was working nights in Kalamazoo, and I would take my kids. When I was a kid, there was a museum with a mummy.
Oh.
And it's always like a huge deal, this mummy. And it's like, I seem to remember it's a little mummy. But anyway.
Mini mummy.
Mini mummy. So I moved my kids back, we moved back to Kalamazoo for job. And I would take my kids to go see this mummy, like on the regular, because there weren't, Kalamazoo at that time, you either went to the nature center or you went to go see the mummy. And so as you're taking your kids on all these cultural tours, we were going to see the mummy.
The same mummy.
Twice a week.
The same mummy.
Yeah.
Did the kids get sick of the mummy? Were they like, Mom?
Oh,
No.
Everybody loves the mummy. And now, if Kalamazoo has like built a actual museum around the mummy, because when I was a kid, the mummy was upstairs in the library, like the museum. But now they have, like a modern library and a museum that's built around the mummy.
We're off to see the mummy, the wonderful. So that was and the kids never got tired of it. I'm astonished.
No. My kids are very,
I don't know how to describe kids who want to see
I'm not going to say anything. I know
the
that
same museum exhibit twice a week. I don't. What did they say about it? What was the consensus about visiting this mummy on the regular?
Well, they liked it. They liked it better than going to the bar. Which
you took your kids to a bar?
Well, yeah.
God bless Michigan.
And you're a single mom, how else can you go out? You take the kids, plop them all down with the ginger ale.
The Shirley Temple.
Yeah, no, they like ginger ales.
Well, that's the Shirley Temple, I think.
And every once in a while, they'd sell merch for some band.
Wait a minute, they've sold the merch in baby sizes, little kid
No,
sizes?
no, my kids sold the merch.
Oh,
Jordy sold the merch for I can't remember their name now. Anyway, it's Low Sparks of High Heeled Boys.
Traffic.
No,
That's who did
anyway,
Low Sparks of High Heeled Boys.
no,
They were a big
that's not
deal.
the
I don't
song.
think they were coming to
No, that
tell
it
him
was
the zoo.
somebody a big deal, and I can't remember now because I'm really old. But some big deal band from San Francisco, by the way. And
The
Jordy,
Tubes?
the what?
The Tubes?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was it. The Tubes.
there you go.
Jordy sold merch for the Tubes,
So
and
didn't
they gave him a T-shirt, and I think he was like 12, but it kept him busy.
I think he's a little too young to have even appreciated the Tubes. They were adult content, the Tubes.
Yeah, well, he had earplugs on, so he couldn't even
All
hear
right,
them.
let me get this straight. You take your kids to a bar, sugar them up with ginger ale, deafen them with earplugs, and let them sell band merch. And somehow nobody came and visited you from Child Protective Services at all?
Nobody's in jail. That's what I have to say. None of my kids are in jail. They all have great jobs, great lives, great spouses, and they're
Did you ever,
rock and rollers.
did you ever consider that might be a form of rebellion on their part?
Well, see, there you go. My psychology worked. Don't
Okay.
be like mom.
Don't be like
Don't
mom.
take your kid to the bar.
Don't take your kid to the bar. So, um, I'm having one of those days where I figure out that if I actually am petrified of not getting everything done, I get a lot more done. It
Oh, I do that too, and then
very
I
rarely
have nothing
happens.
to do.
Really?
Yeah, I did that yesterday. I was like cleaning, and then all of a sudden I was done, and I wanted to make it look like I worked harder and longer for when Frankie got home.
You were out of things to clean, were you?
Yeah, I was out of things to clean, so I watched reruns of The Big Bang Theory for a couple hours,
And then you
and then
got
when
up
he
and
came
picked up the broom again. I know what you did.
I ran to the sink and started washing dishes. We have a long driveway, so I have a long time to prepare when he's pulling in.
I think you need to wire the driveway with one of those little alarms.
Oh, I don't have to. Every car or truck out here, you can hear them coming from well, there aren't any blocks. I would say from a quarter mile away because they all play their radios too loud.
Oh.
Every single one of them, except for me, of course.
I did a get off my lawn, speaking of things too loud at the pool.
You did?
Yes. The lifeguards have decided they have a big speaker in there for when kids have birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's boring being a lifeguard. I know because I've been a lifeguard. There are probably few jobs more boring than being the lifeguard during a lap swim where most of the people are older or
That's
else
true.
they're seniors swim like master swim members and they're just zooming back and forth.
Yeah.
So but some of the seniors, they're a little frail. I watch them carefully, the seniors. I'm always aware of where the kickboard is in case I have to haul somebody out of the water. But there are two lifeguards nominally on duty. Now they have this big speaker and they blast it. And sometimes it's Michael Jackson, and sometimes it's like serious, crunchy, heavy metal that you would recognize that I have no idea what it is, like Hawkwind or grunge or something. You never know what you're going to get. But
Yeah.
the point is that if you're swimming in that senior lane, first of all, the speaker is right in your face. And second of all, which means it's in your ears because it's on the ground on the pool deck. And in the second place, not only does it mangle your hearing, if any of these old you-know-whats were to ask for help, you wouldn't hear them. You would have no idea. So the first time I went up and I said, this is really bad for our hearing just to have it blasting in our faces. Would you mind? And they turned it down. And then this time I went up and I'd had enough. And I said, would you please turn it down? So one of the guards turned it down. Then she turned it up again. And then I went to the other guard and I said, if somebody asks for help, you won't hear them. And she said, what? Yeah.
That's great.
I know. So I think I did a get off my lawn, and I'm actually I think I'm gonna pour all of the frustration and anger, including what the foster dog did to my Persian prayer rug. I think I'm just gonna pour that all into my next encounter with the pool director and be like super get
There you
off my
go.
lawn at him. I think this will be therapeutic for him and could save the life of some old geezer.
See,
So
I don't complain about the loud music coming from the vehicles coming in because
yeah.
that's how I can know Frankie's blasting Grateful Dead. So if I hear tinkle, 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 I know it's Frankie. Eve is a reggae girl. So I know that it's Eve. And Josh listens to either kind of like folky music or yeah.
Forewarned is
Yep,
forearmed, or in this case, forewarned is for mop and dustpan.
exactly.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. It's clear you like listening to things, so you might enjoy the audio version of my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. I read the entire darn thing myself. You can download it from Audible. It's not free like the podcast, though, so if you're thrifty, like me, you may still want your public library to order the printed version.